Here we go. Cast a Chrome as well. And let's go to combat. Pray there's no Settle the Wreckage or similar type effect. Get a bunch of triggers. Here comes the melee. It'll be +3 on everyone. Today on Commander Replay, we get our first look at General Ferrous Rokiric, and we get to play some sweet Boros cards from Commander's past. Next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some General Ferrous Rokiric today. Take a look at this opening hand. 2 lands is a little light. Wheel of Fortune gets us more cards. I think this is a mulligan. Those are all like good cards, but not the cards that I want right now. Ooh. Into another risky one. If we find a 3rd land, then we're on Burnish Chart, and life is good there. If we could somehow get the Skull Clamp on it, then life's even better than that. We'll try it. What's the worst that could happen? We don't play Magic? We drew a Firemane Avenger. Not what we were looking to draw right there. Let's go ahead, play a Plains, play a Skull Clamp. We've got 36 lands in the deck, which means we will not draw any, because 36 lands is not a number you can run a Magic Online. 37 or 35, both are fine. 36 is not okay. Play the Skull Clamp, pass the turn like that. So yeah, General Ferrous Rokiric. It's a 3-mana 3/1 that says Hexproof from Monocolored. Pretty good protection right there. That's a lot of the format. And it says whenever you cast a multicolor spell, create a 4/4 red and white golem artifact creature token. Pretty cool ability. And I'm excited about this commander for multiple reasons. The first is, Blaze Commando is a card that I always wanted to be legendary. It would be a pretty cool Boros commander if it were legendary, and I've always kind of wanted that. General Ferrous is a less restrictive and less expensive version of Blaze Commando that I think is overall better. So that's one reason that I'm really excited about this commander. The other is that this giant chunk of 4-drops right here that we have in the deck, I have all of these in a box. Most of them were in a deck at some point and have now come out, so they're just kind of sitting there not doing anything. So I will probably build this deck in paper just because I get to use a lot of cards that I already have that aren't currently in a deck list. So pretty excited about that. And obviously the game plan with this deck is to cast a whole bunch of multicolor spells and get a bunch of 4/4s and attack with them and do a bunch of things like that. I found that I was able to get easily up around 30 multicolor spells in the deck without sacrificing too much. I did sacrifice a couple more staples than I would have normally for this build right here. I was trying to sneak in a few extra things, trying to test a few extra cards. I've got Monologue Tax in here, which probably isn't like a mainstay, but I just wanted to look at it more because I haven't played it that much yet. Oh, and then we drew the Monologue Tax. We still need the lands. It's not going to be great without the lands. There's a Rip Apart in our hand. 3 damage target creature, or destroy target artifact or enchantment. Yeah, we may need to get rid of that at some point. I think for the moment we're fine. So anyway, the main plan is going to be cough out a bunch of 4/4s, try to pump them up with some stuff like Balefire Liege, get some extra combats with Aurelia or Response Resurgence. We've got a Gisela in there as well. There's actually a lot, and there's a lot of really cool cards at the 4 CMC slot right here that I also like a lot. A couple at 5 as well. So just a really cool smattering of Boros cards. You know, it kind of incentivizes you to use a bunch of Boros cards that were pretty good maybe 5-6 years ago. I think that's another reason why I find this commander exciting. Obviously, you need to be very careful about which colorless and monocolor cards you choose for the deck. You will be kind of pressured on those deck slots. So just be very cognizant about that. This is one of those decks that'll actually gain a little bit from not having every expensive staple available to it. Like if you don't have Enlightened Tutor and Land Tax, you can jam a couple more multicolor spells into the deck. So it's that type of thing. I did play a little bit of one game with this deck already and got combo killed on turn 8 without really doing much. Ugh, there's no land. So I'm probably not going to show that one. I'm still a little annoyed about it. Even more annoyed now that we've missed our land. But yeah, I guess we're just going to pass like that. Opponent ain't going to do some more attacking. Weathered Wayfarer, I'm jealous. I should just start putting that in every deck. It's times like these where I'm like, why don't I run Weathered Wayfarer in every deck? That's a time twister. That's beautiful. Love it. Into also pretty rough on lands. At least there's an Idol of Oblivion. That'll get us card draw. The Monologue Tax came back, so we'll get a look at that one. That's cool. KO says, I have lands. Sean from Gas to All Land. Somehow we only got 1 land in that. Like I said, you can't run 36 lands on Magic Online. 35 or 37 is fine. 36 is not okay. Don't know why that is. It just is. Excited to try this one out. I haven't used this card very much. In decks where it's good, it tends to be very good, so that's a thing. Sean does have a Valakut Awakening, so if he's having some trouble, that'll should smooth him out a bit. Brings it back to our turn. There's a Talisman. Talisman is cool. Let's play a Plains right here. I'm going to try the Monologue Tax. We'll see how it does. My opinion, having not cast one yet, is that it's probably going to be kind of mediocre. Like, I think it is definitely going to be the very budget, less good version of Smothering Tithe. Especially at this early point in the game. Later in a game, it's probably decent. When everyone has, like, 8 or more mana, then it's going to be easy for them to cast multiple spells in a turn. But at this stage of the game, it's kind of tough on turn 4 unless your curve's really low. And it's also possible that opponents will just play around it and play one big spell instead of 2 small ones. So you gotta watch out for stuff like that. But I wanted to get it out here just because I haven't played it under other circumstances. I'd probably go Commander first and then try to do some other stuff. Opponent gonna spread the love around right here. I'm fine with that. And they're gonna create a 1/1. Cool. Boast. Create a 1/1. Yep. That's not bad. You attack with it, you get a 1/1. We have Adriana in this deck. I love Adriana. I've been strongly thinking about building an Adriana deck. I had one for a little while, and then I got pulled apart for something else. Like I said, I have all the creatures to put it back together. It's just like staples and mana rocks and things like that I kind of run out of. Skull clamps. Never seem to have enough skull clamps, lightning greaves. But yeah, I love me some Adriana in a token deck. She's so good. Hopefully we get a good look at her today. Would love to see a land off the top right here. Ahaha! KO cast his second spell. It's a Vampiric Tutor. We get a treasure. Lannis Cryptzoologist. Is that at Modern Horizons? Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, investigate. Sacrifice X clues. Target opponent reveals the top X cards of their library. Put a non-land permanent with mana value X from among them onto the battlefield. Rest on the bottom of their library. That is very interesting. By the way, this is we'll take a look at what our opponents are playing. So, in the middle, we've got Chaotix piloting this Atraxa deck. Saw a little bit of it in the last game before we died. And, it's a very wild token and squirrels deck. He started to get some stuff going in the last game. He's got that new squirrel commander that whenever you make any kind of token, you make a squirrel token in addition to that token. And it was starting to get pretty silly. At one point, he had 2 token doublers out, but one was quickly shot. And anyway, looked like he was having a real good time over there. I'm hoping he gets to show us some of this deck again in this game because it's a pretty cool looking deck. Signet for opponent. Signets are good for casting 2 spells a turn. Ha ha ha, here's a Perforos. I don't know if that's worth the second spell a turn, because Perforos will kill you really quickly. But we do get a treasure out of it, so I guess that's better than a Perforos in which we do not get a treasure out of it. We do have a little bit of mana to our name now. That's a good thing. Still want to catch a land off the top. That is not a land off the top. Let's get our commander into play. You know what? We can Skull Clamp our commander if we have to. Cast our commander. Oh, wait. Nope. Skull Clamp went away. Never mind. Scratch that. Oh, wait. No. Skull Clamp's in play. I'm an idiot. Duh. Play the Talisman. Are we Skull Clamping our commander? It's turn 5. Yeah, we're going to Skull Clamp our commander. I can't envision this going well if we don't hit lands. Back to the command zone. There's a land. Myriad Landscape. That's a land that can catch us up, too. Love it. You know, that's something to think about. The fact that you can just auto Skull Clamp your commander is kind of a thing. You're just like, well, I need to look at some extra cards right now so I don't fall behind. Skull Clamp your commander. Get some cards. That's, I don't know that there's been a lot of that. Especially in Boros. Maybe in some other colors, but it's a thing. It's a tool that's on the table if you need it, and, like, Skull Clamp is a card that you're probably going to play already anyway, so just a nice option to have. Continuing on our opponents, we got Delta Fiend piloting Kongming Sleeping Dragon. And they're going to cast it. Yeah, they're doing a token thing over here. Looks like it's going to be some go wide. Give them all haste with this drawbridge. And yeah, they've got a little army out there. Should probably think about a board wipe or something at some point. I've been thinking about doing Anthem Tribal with Elish Norn. Just putting every creature that's an Anthem in the deck. Should be silly fun. Usher of the Fallen. Yeah, opponent going to spread out some damage here. We're all going to take a little bit. No blocks. Down to 32. Opponents are at 31 and 32. And Delta Fiend still at 40. Mirari's Wake, real magic card. Our final opponent, by the way, is Sean, piloting Ghen, Arcanum Weaver. Going to be Mardu Enchantress. See if he wants to cast 2 spells this turn, because I would like to make some more treasures. That's a Dockside Extortionist. It's going to be a few. 3 from us. Perforos is also going to get us. We have a True Conviction in hand. Hopefully no one wheels again. We will want to get some attacks with that True Conviction, because we're going to need some lifelink. Also got the Achrome as well for some life gain. You know, True Conviction is a card I haven't actually been able to run in a while because I haven't really played Go Wide Boros or at least the one that I do play, is the Aurelia Angels deck, which just doesn't have room for another 6-drop in it. So kind of excited to have True Conviction back in the lineup in a deck where I think it's really going to be good, and it's really going to matter a lot. Ghen, Arcanum, Weaver, yeah, there's that treasure token. Yeah, opponent got a lot of treasures out of that. And another Ferrous Trigger. You will need life gain very soon. You know, I think I need to get more haste into the deck. It's not a thing that we have so much of. Brings it back to our turn. There's an Aurelia Exemplar of Justice. I think the plan here is crack this Myriad Landscape. Gonna go for 2 red, I think. Actually, maybe we go for the white? No, we'll go for the red, just kind of balance things out. I know we've got a Maria in the deck, so we should think about that, but try to keep the colors somewhat balanced. We'll play the Idol of Oblivion right here. And we'll pass the turn. We're well set up to get some things going for next turn. Unfortunately, we could lose a lot of life between now and then, but we'll see how things go. You can attack with the Usher of the Fallen. Surprisingly, not going for a bigger attack. In a mono white deck, you gotta take the damage when you have it. You're the most likely to have bad things happen to you and not be able to recover in the same way that anyone else can. Hunted Witness. When it dies, create a 1/1 soldier with lifelink. Well, KO's got doubled mana, so I assume he's gonna cast 2 spells right here. There's a Parallel Lives. Yep, that's how the trouble starts. There's an Atraxa. Opponents can activate their Weathered Wayfarer in response. We get a monologue tax trigger, so we'll make another treasure. They're going to draw a card with the clue. Draws another card with another clue. Proliferate at the end step. I don't think they have anything to proliferate. By the way, big tip if you're trying to build this commander. Obviously, you're going to want a lot of multicolor spells in the deck. I would say no less than 25. Probably closer to 30 is going to be about right. I didn't have any trouble getting to 30 good ones. But the big thing is, when I was looking through EDH Rec, I saw a lot of card choices that were definitely subpar. Particularly when it comes to 2-drops. For the most part, I would avoid creatures here. Don't add some random 2-drop creature that doesn't impact your board that much and is just going to get eaten by a board wipe. Make sure the things you're playing are impactful. So we have Sky Knight Vanguard because we have some of the token synergy cards in our deck. That makes sense. We have Honored Crop Captain because that pumps up our team. Those make sense. There's been a number of Boros cards over the years that are it's a 2/2 with Vigilance and Haste or something, and there's a few variations on that. I would stay away from those. Those don't change the state of the game for you very much. So my point is, you really just want to make sure that even though you're running multicolor spells, you want to make sure those multicolor spells are impactful, and there are enough good ones to do that. Opponent can do some attacking. Attacking with the Ghen, which means probably board wipe. Don't be an artifact board wipe. It's an austere command. All creatures. I'm fine with that. Yeah, there's an Atraxa in play. You kind of got to blow those up. It gives creatures haste. That's a 4-drop, and then a bunch of small ones. Yep. I see. Works for me. And opponent's going to get to make a soldier because their thing died. The Hunted Witness. Yeah, that's actually really good for us. I mean, opponents had a bunch of stuff, and now they don't, and we didn't have any creatures on board, so we lost nothing. They lost a bunch. There's a land. Well, we're going to see. We're going to see. Let's get our commander into play. Let's get the Legion's Initiative. Sacrifice a treasure. Oh, I meant to go Honored Crop Captain first. Whoops. Opponent's turn cycle took a really long time right there, and I kind of spaced out. Did mean to go for this one first. Whoopsie. Then we're going to draw with the Idol of Oblivion. It's Waves of Aggression, so we will play this as a land. Sajiri Glacier. And we'll Skull Clamp our commander just in case the worst happens. Now, if we use this... Well, if we use it, the Skull Clamp will come off, but if this gets shot for some reason, then it would die. But yeah, not too bad. We got a 5/5 and a 5/1 now with the Skull Clamp on it. A little bit of protection in there. We did get a Waves of Aggression. Once we're set up, Waves of Aggression will be really good. You should definitely run Gift of Estates in this deck. I'm just not running it because it's bugged on Magic Online right now. But that is 100% a card that I would run. Kongming, coming back to play. Yep. Pumps up this 1/1 into a 2/2. No attacks. Yeah, they got to be attacking. Unless they're trying to stay back from us, but I don't know. Based on the Perforos and the Mirari's Wake, I'm just not worried about the mono white deck as much. Sad truth of mono white. Plain white Celebration. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Seems good. They're going to do that 4 times. They might have gained a life in there. I didn't see exactly, but they got a bunch of cards back. Look at KO protecting his combo, getting it back to his hand. All right, opponent casts their second spell. We get a treasure. Here comes that Lana's Cryptozoologist back to play. And the Gilded Goose. Food and Investigate. Yep. Man, we could really use Oketra's Monument in play or something. Get some cost reduction for all of our creatures. Cracks a clue. Draws a card. You know, here's a question. Could you build a CEDH version of this deck where you basically just run all the 2-drops that are red and white and a crap ton of removal and stacks and basically just go on the plan that 4/4s and 5/5s are pretty good in CEDH in the sense that everything else is way smaller than that, so you can attack pretty freely. I wonder if that could be a deck. Yeah, we'll probably still struggle with Adnaz, but Adnaz is ridiculous. Definitely worth checking out, though. I'll have to try that at some point if I get some time. Athreos, gonna put a coin counter on our commander. Not great. Actually, we can just go to the command zone, right? I think that's how that works. I forget, I haven't seen Athreos in a little bit now. Brings it back to our turn. There's a Blasphemous Act. No need for that yet. So yeah, we want to get some cool stuff into play this turn, particularly things that are going to pump the team. Let's get the Honored Crop Captain. That'll make a 4/4. You know what? This deck probably also wants Hazard's Monument in it. Let's get Adriana. If we cast Adriana, we need to wait for opponent to... Oh, you know what we can do? We can draw with the Idol of Oblivion first, is what we can do. It's a land. Perfect. Play the Homeward Path. Now I think we can do it. Yep, now we cast the Adriana and leave up the mana for Legion's Initiative. So we make another 4/4. It's actually a 5/5. Adriana's into play, and we can do some attacking. Go to combat. We'll send one over to Delta, and one over to Sean. We have no other legal attackers. They're going to melee twice. Yeah, I love me some Adriana. Adriana's so good. This is a 7/7 and a 7/3 now. Yeah. Adriana brings damage. I used to talk a lot of smack about her. I'm like, ugh. It's another Boros commander that all it does is attack, but it really brings the damage hard. It's maybe not the most inspired ability ever, but it's really good for smacking people around. Anyway, that seems pretty good for this turn. We'll go ahead and pass like that. I mean, next turn, we got Waves of Aggression, a Chroma's Will. We're protected from a board wipe. I'm feeling pretty good about how things are going right now. Divine Visitation. Oh yeah, that seems good. That's a reason to be worried about the mono white deck. Also, that's something that could go in this deck, honestly. I completely forgot about that one. Although you don't get as much of an upgrade in this deck because they're already 4/4s. Now there'll be Angels with Vigilance, which is pretty cool. But there's a Precinct Captain, also good. Yeah. I'll have to see if Divine Visitation is worth it in this deck. It may just be easier to give your tokens flying. That might be an easier thing to do. I'll have to check into that. Victory's Herald could be a card for this deck. I'll have to check into that. I want to get... there's still some things I want to get into this deck. I want to get a little bit more haste and a little bit more evasion. Here comes Atraxa back to play. Chaotic says the flood is real. Gonna use the Cryptzoologist ability. See what he gets. Gets himself a Doom Traveler. Not the most exciting. It's a blocker, though. And it's getting to be that time where blockers are going to be super relevant. Also, the things that Adriana and this Waves of Aggression are going to do, oh my, going to be silly. Can we get the True Conviction in? How much mana do we have? We have 10 mana. If we get another treasure or a land off the top, we'll be able to cast Waves of Aggression and True Conviction all on the same turn. That seems good. I guess we could do the Chroma's Will if that doesn't pan out. Unfortunately, we would need to start over with our tokens if we had to use the Legion's Initiative. What colors are these tokens? It's a red and white Golem artifact. Okay. Oh, I was just about to say, you guys need to interact with me right now. Here comes Austere Command on all artifacts and all creatures with mana 4 or greater. That's our Adriana. Yeah, I want to keep our Adriana alive. The artifacts will hurt. I mean, this is going to hit just our Adriana. Is Adriana worth it? KO seems to think so. Well, if Sean has another board wipe, then we'll just take the punishment. But I'm going to keep this Adriana alive because I like Adriana. I want to show you guys what this Adriana does. Oh, hey, our commander did die when the thing left play because it loses the pump before it actually exiles, so that makes sense. So we'll draw some cards. There's a land. And a Gisela, if we wanted to make things a little bit more ridiculous. We get a treasure, it'll get blown up. Maybe that exchange wasn't as good as I thought, because now our commander's out of play. Oh, here comes our stuff. So we get an Honored Crop Captain and an Adriana back to play. Yeah, losing our commander may not have been the best. I think we'd be better served by having left our commander in play. That's fine, though. It'll give our opponents a chance to get in this just a little bit more. They've been kind of stuck on lands and stuff, because, you know, honestly, if we just let the Adriana die, we'd probably come back to our turn, cast Waves of Aggression, True Conviction, and that's probably going to do it. Custody Battle. Oh, no. How do we get that off of our creature? Enchanted creature has at the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent gains control of this unless you sacrifice a land. Well, at the beginning of whose upkeep? Our upkeep. Well, that's annoying. Opponent's gonna cast a Starfield of Nyx, and that'll get us a treasure token. We do have the Homeward Path, though, so we can just, like, pay 1 to get it back, but it'll unfortunately keep it from really being much of an attacker. Athreos trigger on our Adriana. Yep. It's not great. It's the type of thing that'll beat you in the long game. Adriana. Definitely not sacrificing a land. Yeah, put that over there. Nope. Does it still have haste? It still has haste, so if we take it back, it will actually be an attacker. Oh, that's the weird wording on Legion's initiative. Thankfully doing some stuff for us. We got another land. Lands are good. Think we need to get our commander back into play to make some more stuff. Ugh, 7? It's going to be like most of our turn. Use this treasure. Play the Bonders Enclave. We may actually be able to draw if someone gives us treasures. Activate the Homeward Path. Adriana comes back to our side of the battlefield. This at KO and this at Sean. Melee and Honored Crop Captain. They will do some damage. That's a 7-6 and a 5-4. It's not bad. It's not bad. Oh, what are we going to discard? We have to discard something. Don't want to discard the land. We've been struggling with mana. Even more so now that our artifacts got blown up. Guess we can discard the Tajik. Tajik is a good blocker more than anything. It's going to be kind of slow at this point. So at this point, we're basically on just like hope to get a Maria active and hope it comes out of the grave. One way or another. There's a Reverent Hoplite. Create a number of 1/1s equal to your devotion to white. Oh my god, they're all 4/4s with flying. Good thing we kept the Blasphemous Act. Oh my god. Now that deck is scary. Might be time for Gisela. I was going to send a 2/2 our way. Oh, yeah. Yep. The first strike will eat through our commander, so we'll just go ahead and take that. I'm pretty sure haste should have fallen off this Adriana at some point. It appears to have permanently gained haste. Chitter Splitter. Oh boy. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may sacrifice a token. If you do, put an acorn counter on it. Squirrels you control get +1/+1 for each acorn counter on it. Pay green, tap it, create a squirrel. Yep, seems good. Here come the tokens. He's got a token doubler in. Here comes Atraxa. End step, proliferate. What to do about the army of 4/4s? Mudslide. Creatures without flying don't untap during their controller's untap steps. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player may choose any number of tap creatures they control without flying and pay 2. Untap. Oh, God. Ferrous comes in. Ferrous becomes a creature. Athreos becomes a creature. We take 2 damage. Again, coming into play. There's a monologue tax. Excellent. Need the mana. Other Aurelia would untap them. These have vigilance and do not care about that. Yep. This isn't great. This is not great. Coin counter on the Atraxa. Yep. I think the play is sit on a Chroma's Will right here. Mudslide. Are we paying 4 to untap our stuff? Probably not. You know what? We'll give Deltaphine our Adriana. See if they want to kill some other people with it. We're going to be on 11 mana this turn. I want to get Gisela. That's exactly enough for Gisela and a Chroma's Will, which means we cannot untap our creatures. Nope. Oh, you want to what? A Chroma's Will make the custody battle fall off. We'll want to keep that in mind. We will want to keep that in mind. Play the Battlefield Forge. Play Gisela. We'll get a 4/4. We will need to get a treasure out of opponents at some point to be able to activate the Homeward Path and cast the Chroma's Will. No attacks. Mudslide and Adriana trigger. Opponent did not pay. So, like, if opponent said, oh, opponent gave it back to us. But yeah, if, I guess now we don't need the extra mana to get the thing off of Adriana. But if opponent kept that with the Angels, probably just about table lethal. Oh, especially with the Gisela out there. We would probably be able to survive through with the Chroma's Will and the damage reduction on Gisela, and namely the lifelink. There's a Spear of Heliod. They getting bigger. They 5/5s. Opponent goes no attacks. They should probably be attacking someone. KO can't be that far from comboing. See a Gilded Goose, mana doubler, token doubler, Mudslide. We're going to create a food token with the Gilded Goose. Here's an Anointed Procession, because more tokens. Remanop Excavator. You guys just let me know if you see a combo. I'm not really familiar with the Gilded Goose combo and what KO might be doing right here. Whenever another non-token creature enters, investigate. Okay. You have many clues. We'll create many squirrels. Gonna do the Zoologist again. Honestly, I think we're kind of a good target. We have good creatures. Ooh, is that a Smothering Tithe? Those are good. End step, proliferate. Proliferates our coin counters. Does this give vigilance? It does give vigilance. Perfect. Mudslide and Starfield of Nyx. Smothering Tithe. How about that? He's gonna pay. He doesn't have any cards left, so. Plays a land. Alright, what's this turn gonna look like? This turn is probably a Chroma's Will and Waves of Aggression. We need 9 mana to do that. We'll have 9. Okay. Yeah, that means I'm going to use the Chaos Warp right here. Chaos Warp on Mudslide because of the mana we need to untap stuff. I believe that was a land. Yep, opponent got a swamp. Notably, that makes their enchantments not creatures. Love it. They are wide open. We got to watch out for some of the blowout cards from Settle the Wreckage or a Comeuppance from Deltavine would be not great. Opponent's going to put a coin counter on our Gisela. Yep. Brings it back to our turn. There's that Adriana thing. I think we're actually going to sacrifice this land. Sacrifice the Sajiri Glacier. We draw an area. Ooh. Plains count is low. Only 2. Gonna be a minute on that. Not paying. Do need to watch out for like a Rift. Play the Emeria. Make sure we have enough to do everything. We have 10 mana left. Should leave us with 1 left over. Here we go. Cast a Chroma's Will. That gets rid of the custody battle for us, which I love. And let's go to combat. So this is going to be 6, then 12. This would be 8, then 16. Send this one to Sean, this one to KO. It'll be 10, 20. This one to KO. Then these ones to Delta. Pray there's no Settle the Wreckage or similar type effect. Get a bunch of triggers. Here comes the melee. It'll be +3 on everyone. Uh-oh. KO's got stuff. That's a Teferi's protection. Well, KO's going to survive. Our creatures are huge. 2 opponents go down. We gain a ton of life. Oh my god, we're at 103. Well, that went pretty well. Is there anything worth doing on the follow-up? Do we cast this Aurelia? So, like, if they have a board wipe or something, it's not great. Maybe we just wait. Just kind of play it cool. That was a pretty big hit, though. Up to 103. Love it. Means he probably has to go, like, truly infinite or play a Crater Hoof to really get us. And even then, with Gisela, that makes things difficult. Sean said he got completely wrecked by the Time Twister. That will happen. Opponent said they had Generous Gift in hand for the Gisela and accidentally skipped through the priority when that came up. Yep, that's how you lose a game. Though we still had the Waves of Aggression, so we probably still could have taken them out, but we would have had to use another resource to do it. Now we still have Waves of Aggression ready to go for KO. I have a feeling that this turn is going to take a really long time. Well, maybe not. He does have a whole bunch of 5/5s, though. Don't exactly know how we're going to get through those. We'll figure it out. End step, Proliferate. That's a 5/5. We should keep that in mind. That's a flyer, but it's tapped. Well, let's see what kind of traps KO's going to spring on us. There's a Strip Mine. That's a land. Are we paying? He seems to have all the mana he needs, so I don't think so. Play a Strip Mine. Ooh, the Smothering Tide's still in the game. Shouldn't that have gone away when Sean left? Hope that doesn't come back to bite us. True Conviction? Yeah, when in doubt, True Conviction, right? Haven't got to play a True Conviction in a very long time. We'll keep the Homeward Path up. We'll keep the Bonders Enclave up. Here comes a True Conviction. So Gisela will be fine in the air. I probably don't want to send Adriana. This will easily get eaten by stuff. Well, maybe let's get Aurelia Exemplar in then. We make a 4/4. Go to combat. Aurelia trigger on the Gisela. And we'll just leave everyone else back. KO's got stuff. That's not good. That's not good. What's he got? It's a Cyclonic Rift. Woof. Oh, yeah, that's going to hurt. He might be able to get us from 100. We're going to lose this turn and have to spend all of next turn recasting stuff. Yeah, that's not great. That is not great. Ouch. Probably could have played around that better. Oh, I have to discard a couple cards. Ouchie. Discard the Waves of Aggression. And I think well, that's a 2-drop. 2-drops are nice. Yeah, we'll get rid of it. So next turn, we Blasphemous Act for sure. Probably recast our commander, Adriana, if we can. I don't know. We'll figure it out. That's 70 damage. That's pretty scary. Demonic Tutor, that's not good. Some sort of like Beastmaster Ascension, extra combat, double strike, any of that stuff. Should finish it up. Crater Hoof. KO doesn't normally run a lot of that stuff, though, so I don't know. I'm curious to see what he does right here. He's not a guy that plays a ton of staples, so there is some chance we survive this. Man, if we left a red up last turn, we would have been able to Blasphemous Act in the second main. I had chosen to leave our utility lands up, though, just in case we got some treasures and all that. Ugh, should have went the other way with that. That's a Cathar's Crusade. Yeah, that'll do it. Tap that, make a bunch of things. They all get +5/+5 or something. Wow. Yeah, leaving up the colorless punished me. Never do that again. Wow, that's, yeah, I just walked right into that Cyclonic Rift super hard. Yep, he's got us. He's got us. So down we go. Honestly, right there, I mean, if we leave up the red, we don't just win, but we don't lose, and we can keep grinding for a while. We actually had a decent chance. If we wipe the board right there, he has to recast a lot of stuff. He can recast Atraxa and everything else kind of goes away. Well, we have all of our stuff in hand, so I think we would have won that battle for the most part. So that was just a choice thing. We got the big attack in, so I feel good about that with the Chroma's Will right there. He had the two big cards. He had the Fairy's Protection, followed by Cyclonic Rift, followed by Demonic Tutor. Those are just big plays. You really need your own Teferi's Protection to get you around the Rift. You know what? Probably could have held the Legion's Initiative, honestly. If we had that ready for the Cyclonic Rift, we're probably okay. But I really wanted to get busy with Adriana, because I love Adriana. So I used it on that, and that's just, you know, it's one of those things, came back to bite us. So yeah, we could have made some different choices. Again, this deck is not fully tuned yet. I've still got some things that I'm just trying to test through and check out. You know, honestly, I'm not completely convinced on Assemble the Legion. It's still just so slow. Outlaw's Merriment is a little bit better. It comes in quicker, and the tokens, they have more power, and they have abilities on them, which make them matter a lot more. The 1/1s are generally good for blocking, but not that much else unless you have something to go with them. That's where you need an Adriana or a Jorkadine or something like that. So that's been tricky. I don't know. There's still some things to test around with this deck. The curve could come down slightly. Could probably cut a 4-drop. Would love another 2-drop in here. Our mana got weird in this game. If we could run Gift of Estates, I would be. And to make sure we don't miss early land drops, because that definitely messed us up a little bit. I think we want a Hazoret's Monument in this deck based on the way that our colors are going. Need to get some recursion into the deck also. Haven't done that yet. So let's get a Hazoret's, I don't know, Marshal's Anthem, I guess. There's still some other stuff too. I would love to get like an Odric Lunarch Marshal in there. We need to get more keywords onto our creatures. That's the thing that I've been thinking about too. So there's a Marshal's Anthem. Yeah, Aurelia's Fury doesn't really seem like the thing for this deck. So get rid of that. Love to cut a 4-drop right here. I guess that one's not really a 4-drop. It's more like an 8 to 10 drop usually. Tajik Bleed of the Legion is cool. It's a really good blocker. And I guess it will attack. You know what? I think, yeah, the couple battalion creatures are probably reasonable for this deck. I actually don't know if Winota is truly good enough. Because you're going to whiff. It's got some humans. It's got Adriana. It's got Jorkadine. I did the human count. There's a few. But for the most part, I don't know. Does it have enough? It's only an 18 creature count deck. I'm going to cut Winota based on that. Now, the thing that I don't like is that our creature count is getting low. But I guess we do have a lot of... Actually, let's double check. That's 28 multicolor cards. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that number. Probably still like to tinker with things just a little bit. Like I think I mentioned earlier, you're really gonna have to pick and choose your spots about which monocolor cards you want in the deck, because there's some effects you just need monocolor for. You know, some part of me almost wonders, like, I mean, doubling tokens is pretty good. I don't know. Anointed Procession should probably stay in. I'm not sure about the one that makes them angels. It's a lot of mana. It's kind of one of those big plays you tap out for. It doesn't do much for you immediately. Is it easier just to find a way to give them flying on their own? I don't know, maybe. Yeah, things to think about. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching. Commander Replay t-shirts, available in orange and colors beside orange. Hey guys, help support me and save 15% on singles by using the promo code REPLAY at mothershipaTX.com.